The house had always been silent. When Clara moved in, she was relieved by the stillness. She had spent too many years in a chaotic apartment building where the neighbors fought, music blared through the walls, and the pipes groaned at all hours of the night. Here, in this old Victorian home nestled on the outskirts of town, the quiet felt like a blessing. She bought it for a suspiciously low price, but the realtor had assured her it was just because of the house's age. It needed a little love, some repairs, but otherwise, it was a perfect home for someone looking for peace. The first few nights were uneventful. She spent her time unpacking, organizing, and fixing up the place. She painted over the peeling wallpaper in the bedroom, scrubbed dust from the windowsills, and even took the time to refinish the creaky wooden floors. And then one night, the silence was broken. She had been lying in bed, just on the edge of sleep, when she heard it. A giggle. Soft, playful, muffled. Clara sat up, heart pounding. She held her breath, listening. Silence. She exhaled. It had to be her imagination, or maybe the distant echo of a television in another house. But the closest house was nearly a mile away. She lay back down and forced herself to sleep. The next night, the giggling returned. This time it was closer, a breathy, childish chuckle that sent shivers down her spine. She sat up again, her skin prickling. The sound had come from the closet. Clara turned on the lamp, her eyes locked on the old wooden door at the far end of the bedroom. The house had several closets, but this one was the only one she had never opened. She didn't know why. Something about it felt wrong. Slowly, she got out of bed. The floor was cold under her feet. She took a few cautious steps forward, reaching out to grasp the doorknob. It was freezing. She yanked her hand away, a wave of unease washing over her. No, not tonight. She turned on every light in the bedroom and climbed back into bed, pulling the covers up to her chin. She kept her eyes on the closet until exhaustion forced her into uneasy sleep. By the third night, she was certain she wasn't imagining things. The giggling started at midnight. This time it wasn't just one voice. It was two, then three, then four. A chorus of whispered laughter, rising and falling in the darkness. And the closet door. It was open, just a crack. She felt paralyzed. The laughter continued, but she couldn't move. She could barely breathe. Then a thump. Something shifted inside. The air in the room turned icy, and Clara did the only thing she could. She lunged from the bed, slamming the closet door shut with trembling hands. The laughter stopped instantly. Silence. A deep, suffocating silence. Her hands stayed on the doorknob, her breath ragged. And then, from the other side of the door, a knock. Slow, rhythmic, 3 times. Then whispers. She ran from the room. The next morning, she told herself she had been dreaming. Sleep paralysis, maybe. Stress from moving in. It was an old house. Houses made noise. But she couldn't shake the memory of that laughter, the way it seemed to curl around her in the dark. She made up her mind. She was going to open the closet. That afternoon, in broad daylight, she approached the door. She gripped the handle tightly, took a deep breath, and pulled it open. The closet was empty. No old boxes. No forgotten coats. Just bare wooden walls and a floor coated in dust. She let out a breath she hadn't realized she was holding. Maybe the door had simply swung open on its own the night before. Maybe she had imagined everything. But as she turned to leave, something caught her eye. Scratched into the inside of the closet door were words. "Let US out." Clara slammed the door shut. That night, she barricaded it with furniture. She slept with the lights on. And still, at midnight, the giggling returned. This time it didn't come from inside the closet. It came from under the bed. Clara didn't scream. She didn't move. She just listened. Listened as tiny bare feet shuffled against the wooden floor. Listened as small cold hands pressed against the blankets covering her. Listened as a voice, no longer giggling, whispered, "We found a way out." The lights flickered, and then the hands pulled her under. By morning, the house was silent again, and the closet door was wide open. The room smelled of dust and something else, something old, something wrong. And on the wall, carved deep into the wood, a single new message had appeared. "More room now. Let me know if you want more expansions or refinements."